Hey guys, Banana here. Welcome back to another Watcher of Realms video. Today we'll be taking a look at Valara, which is gonna be the non-lot hero featured alongside with Ingrid next weekend. And we're not gonna talk about whether you should summon for them because the Imrat Ardea banner, people have already done their summons, but we just want to take a look at Valara in detail. And obviously we don't need any mention of Ingrid. She has fallen off meta in recent times. I think the only place where she shines really well right now is AoE Arena, as well in some boss content where you have A5 Kikiri and A5 Wukong under her for her lot bonus, and coupled with her own single target damage, that can be pretty good in terms of, the damage potential that she could get to. But yeah, we want to talk about Valara today, and she's going to be the second tactician unit that we'll be covering. I'm not going to cover Astro because it's a fusion unit, and I've seen some tests. He is decent, but not anything crazy. So if we pop over to new hero info here, we can actually see Valara. So Valara is supposedly Moradin's like girlfriend in that sense, lover. So, but Moradin turned evil and all that, and you can see in the trailer here, she is treading around where Moradin would be because you see all the green dark flames around her. You can see Moradin right here. Everything gets destroyed except for Moradin. You can see the chessboard team and everything going on, basically showing that she is a tactician. Yeah. And she has a skin as well, which is pretty good because it basically transforms her armor into a few pieces of bandage. Yeah. Right now she's fully cloaked in armor, but with the skin, she's just going to be reduced to bandages. Yeah. So Valara has very good base stats, and you can see her attack range here is a Zilla2 attack range, and we aren't even getting to the good part yet. Just talk about the stats here. Base attack of 6.1k, that's well above what you normally see on other units. It's Kigiri and Wukong level, also Ingrid level in terms of damage, so that's really nice. And a very good attack range, and you get that maxed out, otherwise it's only just this. So this is the amazing part that I was talking about. Can be deployed on platform tiles. So tacticians by default go on ground tiles only, but Valara is a unique case. You can place her on both platform and ground, which just unlocks so much potential in terms of content that you can use her in. You can use her in Immortal Codex, the Conqueror's one, where it's a ground one. You can also use her in other areas for sure. Maybe even in what do you call that? The Pelagios Codex, for example, just because she can be placed on both ground and platform. And also the Mother of Crow Codex, she does some slows herself as well. But those are just examples that I have not actually tested myself. But I just want to point out that this is really good of a unit for the fact that she can be placed on both ground and platform. And when deployed, she gains invisibility. She cannot block any enemies, but this Destin has already showcased in another video where he used Valara for the right side of gear rate 3. So right now I'm struggling with that because my Allura is only A3. I have not have her artifact maxed out, so she's really struggling on the right side there. I think that Valara can really help to solve that problem, but we won't know that for sure until she actually comes into the game. And then when attacking, there's a 20% chance to do 200% AoE damage, and all direct damage dealt by the enemy, by the hero inflicts slow, that's 25% slow, and 20% chance to additionally inflict 1 stack of Radiant Erosion. So Radiant Erosion, just a true damage over time debuff on the enemies. I don't think we need to introduce this any further. And then her basic attack, magic damage, 100% AoE damage to the target and their surrounding enemies, hitting up to 5 enemies. And max level, this is going to be 120%. And then her first passive, during the ultimate, increases the chance to inflict Radiant Erosion to 40%. And attacking that targets inflicted with radiant erosion deals extra true damage equal to 30% of her attack. So quite similar to what you see on other units in terms of that radiant erosion damage buff. In her case, it's 30% extra true damage based on her attack. And then her second passive, Lip of Faith, every 15 seconds at max level, it deals 400% AoE damage to 10 enemy targets in the range and knocks back ground target while inflicting magic resistance reduction on them. This is a 30% magic resistance reduction. It's pretty hefty. And bear in mind, it's a 10-second duration, so you're gonna have like a 5-second downtime at most. And the talent's Radiant Erosion is guaranteed to be inflicted when she does this Lip of Faith hit. So the knockback is going to come in handy in many areas. I'm not sure in Gear Dungeon whether it's going to be sufficient because of the cooldown, but that's definitely one of the areas that she can potentially be used in. And then her bond skill with Moradin. Obtain the hero Moradin to reduce her initial deployment cost by 5, so that's going to go from 17 to 12, which makes her very viable for Arena. And then during the ultimate, if there are no enemies in range, restores 8% rage every 2 seconds. So you're probably going to use, or rather have that come in handy in the instance of like Malrik Trials, when you're reorienting Valara to another tile to prepare for a second wave or something like that. That's going to come in handy for the second bit for the rage restore. And Moradin is guaranteed, so you're definitely going to get this unlocked if you manage to get Valara. And then now we have our ultimate. And choose and move to 4 deployable tiles. You can see right there, we just had it on screen. She can be deployed, you see, from platform to ground. And removes her invisibility state. Increases her attack range to a 4x3 tile range. You can see the tile once again. And then deals 260% AoE damage at max level to 10 enemy targets with each attack. And the talent inflicts enhanced slow, which goes up to 50%. The duration goes up to 20 seconds at max level and 800 cost. And bear in mind, she is Esotericis as well, so she could drop this cost down further to 600 instead. I'm honestly more excited about using her in the ESO team than the Arbiter team, but I'm not sure which will work better until we actually pull her or see people using Valara. So, very solid unit. Is she an Ingrid replacement? By no means that's going to happen because I don't think she has any like a big AoE hit that does damage in the Ingrid range where it's basically map wide. And you can see right here the range is really very clearly spelled out here. It's just a 4x3 tile range, similar to when she does her ultimate. But still very solid unit. A lot of Radiant Erosion, slows, and then also a lot of true damage in her kit with the Radiant Erosion as well as the Guiding Light passive. And then on to Awakenings, which is what's probably going to determine whether this unit is good or not. So A1. When enemies enter attack range, inflicts 1 stack of Radiant Erosion on them, and attacking targets inflicted with Radiant Erosion ignores 25% magic resistance. This is a huge awakening for the fact that Radiant Erosion gets guaranteed now whenever targets enter her range, and she's going to deal that true damage that we saw earlier on Guiding Light, and we also get that 25% magic resistance ignore, which is great. And then A2, it's a percentage of 5% extra attack. It makes sense given how she has a pretty high base attack already. Normally, they don't give flat attack for those units. A3, during the ultimate, becomes immune to the first instance of damage taken, and after triggering this effect, reduces all damage taken by 50% for 5 seconds. Nothing too crazy there, but I have to say this is quite a mediocre awakening. Didn't expect this. So let's see A4 and A5 to see if those are better. A4 is extra penetration, very usual on units like this. And at A5, 20% increased damage to targets inflicted with slow and control effects. It's quite a straightforward 20% damage increase, because she inflicts slow with every attack that she does. And yeah, I think it's very straightforward. It's just straight up 20% damage increase for her. But I would say that A1 is honestly a lot more crazy compared to A5. I don't know. This is a flat out damage increase. This is one that depends on Radiant Erosion. But from her kit so far, it seems like there's a lot of sources of Radiant Erosion. Radiant Erosion lasts for 10 seconds. This has a cooldown of 15 seconds, which means that it's going to have a 5% downtime at most if, let's say, she doesn't inflict any stacks of Radiant Erosion on herself. So I'll say A1 is the biggest awakening, and given that she's a non-lot unit in Ancient Banners, I don't think most people will actually get her to A5. I think it's kind of great that she has her A1 being the best awakening here so far as what I can see. But we will need to test out to see whether she inflicts enough Radiant Erosion to, get that consistent uptime so that she benefits from that 25% magic resistance ignore. I really like this unit, but it is a non-lot unit at the end of the day, so I am not too hopeful that we'll get her. I mean, we'll need to be lucky to get both Ingrid and Valara, but if given a choice, I think I would want Ingrid more because I care about AoE Arena. But Valara is definitely going to be coming in very useful for Malrik Trials, just from the fact that she's an SO unit, which is what we currently use in our SO team. We use Cyrus alongside with Anora and Imret. So I'm guessing that if we have Valara in a mix, then we can change things around quite a bit. And bear in mind, Valara can be shifted around as well, so she can deal with certain ways when needed, and she's also invisible unless she's using her ultimate. So very exciting stuff. I am looking forward to the banner. Let me know in the comment section below, do you summon for Ardea or Emerald this weekend? Or are you like me waiting for Valara and Ingrid because you need both of these units? Yes, I definitely need both of them. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. And once again, I have a pool party coming up next for Valara and Ingrid as well as Moradin. It's happening later this week. So if you're interested, sign up with the link below. And I also have a Discord channel which I'll be plugging in for quite some time because it's a new one. And I want more folks to join so that we can have fun there. So yeah, see you in the next one. Goodbye.